Picture this. John, an inventive genius, has created a time machine that allows him to visit any point in history. He decides to go back in time and give his past self an ordinary-looking book. But where did this book come from? Did John's past self write it? Or did it always exist, and John just stumbled upon it in the past? This is where the perplexing concept of the Bootstrap paradox comes into play. Let's start with the first scenario. If John's past self wrote the book, the information inside it is a product of his own imagination and creativity. But why would John feel the need to travel back in time and give his past self the book? Could it be that the book contains crucial information to prevent a catastrophe or save lives? And if that's true, does it mean that John's actions are predetermined, challenging the idea of free will? Now, let's look at the second scenario. If the book always existed, and John just found it in the past, we encounter the issue of causality. How can an object existing in the past be responsible for its own existence? If the book was always there, who wrote it? If no one wrote it, how did it come into existence? The Bootstrap paradox has fascinated philosophers, scientists, and sci-fi fans for decades. It explores the consequences of sending an object or information back in time and giving it to one's past self. Does this change the course of history, or does it create a never-ending loop? The concept of time travel has been a popular topic in science fiction for years, but it wasn't until the 20th century that people started to seriously consider its implications. One of the earliest examples can be found in the 1941 story By His Bootstraps by Robert A. Heinlein, where the character, Bob, uses a time portal to create a causality loop with no clear beginning or end. We can see that the Bootstrap paradox gained even more attention when physicist and author Robert Forward introduced the idea in his 1984 novel Dragon's Egg. Forward presents a never-ending loop of cause and effect, where the cause and effect are the same thing. This paradox challenges our understanding of causality, free will, and the nature of time. The Bootstrap paradox isn't just a captivating concept for writers and philosophers. It's also been a subject of interest in physics and cosmology. Theoretical physicists have used the paradox to explore quantum entanglement, the idea that particles can be connected in such a way that the state of one particle affects the state of another, even when they're separated by vast distances. In quantum mechanics, this is known as non-local correlation. However, if this connection is used to send information back in time, it creates a causality loop, a never-ending loop where the future causes the past and the past causes the future. The Bootstrap paradox is a concept that raises more questions than it answers. It serves as a reminder that the nature of time and causality is complex and mysterious. As a subject of ongoing debate among scholars, scientists, and thinkers, the Bootstrap paradox continues to challenge.